time to begin the panel session on domestic climate actions after Durban. The speakers are already seated on the stage. This session will be moderated by Professor Hamanaka, Chair of the Board of Directors of IJS. Professor Hamanaka, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we would like to start the session focusing on domestic climate actions after Durban. I think that this morning's plenary session was very informative, very interesting, focusing on the very important issues of equity, how we can operationalize the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities and respective capabilities into concrete actions taken by stakeholders, including, of course, national governments and business and industry, and a very important, very interesting idea of green development rights or responsibility capacity index was proposed and discussed. And also UNEP's global emission gap report and bridging the gap report, and the important issue of short-lived climate forces. Now, in this session, I would like to focus on two key points. One is the update on domestic or national climate actions in major economies, and also, secondly, discuss how these national or domestic actions can contribute to collective global action toward achieving globally agreed 2 degrees Celsius. Of course, 2 degrees Celsius target. Of course, already during the morning session, one keynote speaker said that this 2 degrees Celsius target is extremely dangerous. And of course, at the UNFCCC negotiating forum, it was agreed to review this globally agreed target. And at the 2015, this very important discussion will take place, and already proposals were put forward, and that includes even lower the target to 1.5 degrees Celsius rather than 2 degrees Celsius target. But anyway, I think today, as you see, we have a number of distinguished panelists on the panel, and I would like to ask each one of these panelists to address these points. That is the first update on domestic or national climate action, and second, how can each country contribute to collective action toward achieving 2 degrees Celsius target. And in view of the limited time available, I would like to ask each one of you, the panelists, distinguished panelists, to limit your presentation within 10 minutes. So let me first ask Professor Miranda Schroes. She's the director of the Environmental Policy Research Institute, the Free University of Berlin. She's expected to address the national climate actions of Germany and its contribution to global collective action. So, Miranda-san, please.
Thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to be here, and I think we're actually at a very important moment in terms of thinking about what is the future for climate change negotiations after the Durban negotiations. And while in Durban there was agreement reached to move towards negotiating a new global agreement by 2015 that's supposed to go into effect by 2020, I must say there's a lot of concern about how effective such an international agreement will be. And in the German context, there is a increasing discussion about maybe we shouldn't simply focus on the international negotiations, that it's also very important to be pushing forward with other steps towards reducing greenhouse gas emissions, also because this will help to strengthen the possibilities for a global agreement down the road.